Compile function. Do you think compile function is difficult to understand? I mean, you might have researched, gone through some examples, but still not getting any idea why it's there. Then you might have heard no need of using compile function as everything can be done in a link function, right? That's true, but it's partially true. If you really need to understand compile function, you need to focus on its name. Yes, that's compile. So I'm going to start with the link function first. So you can see I'm continuing with my previous HTML, but I did some changes. You can see I have some HTML snippet hard-coded which contains Angular directive. So it's not just a simple HTML. Then I'm creating an element from that HTML using Angular.element function. And finally, I'm appending it to the DOM. So what's going to happen? Let's run and see. You can see we are getting curlies painted on the DOM. And if I type something, the paragraph text is not updating as well. Why? It's quite obvious. It's just a normal HTML I have attached to the DOM. Even if it's having AngularJS directives, link function do not compile it automatically. Get that? So I need to inject compile service here and manually compile the element, then execute the function passing scope as context, refresh, type something. You can see it's working fine now. Now I'm going to comment this code and I'm going to return a DDO, directive definition object. Inside this, I'm going to write compile function. Compile function takes two arguments. First is an element and second is an attribute. So you can see we don't have scope object available here inside compile function, which is there with the link function. First, I'm going to copy this element creation code, paste inside my compile function, then this DOM append code and paste inside compile function. So you can see I didn't inject the compile service here. Even I didn't compile the element manually using $compile service. Now I'm going to refresh again, type something. Get that? You know now what compile function does. It compiles any of the HTML before it's going to append to the DOM. So you can use compile function for DOM manipulations or even creating new Angular specific HTML and append it to the DOM. There is a possibility based on some conditions you might require to create different Angular specific views and append them to the DOM. Use compile function instead of link function. This compile function also returns a function called a link function. So you don't need to explicitly define the link function as it's going to be ignored. So if you need link function as well, just to return from compile function after DOM manipulation code. Now guess which directive might be using the compile function. That's ngRepeat, as we need to compile the template before it's been attached to the DOM. Get that? I think you can try by creating your own ngRepeat version, right?